You note here that the best outcome from these trade negotiations would still likely be, you say, negative for Asian exporters. The best outcome, which isn't very encouraging. Why is that?
Right. For me, I think for China to reduce the trade deficit by 200 billion merely by importing more from the US would be near impossible. Let's consider this, right? 2017, China imports a total of 155 billion from the US. You now expect China to more than double that imports over a certain period. I think it's going to be near impossible. Therefore, I think for the trade deficit to be reduced by 200 billion, you require China to also reduce its exports to the US. To that extent, you would then think that, for every item that is exported from China to the US, therein contains a lot of value add from the rest of Asia. So when China need to reduce its exports to the US, then the rest of Asia would be affected likewise. And so the way we look at it is, which country offers the highest value add into products that are shipped from China to the US. And the answer is quite intuitive as well. We get Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. These are the four major economies that have the highest value add in the products that are shipped from China to the US. If these exports are to be reduced, then EM Asia would still feel the heat from this agreement.
Yeah, so in other words, these are the goods that are shipped from those countries into China. China does something with them and then ships them off to the United States. What about those countries where China actually competes directly when it comes to exports? Which is collateral damage here? Which country can we actually single out? Because, again, China just can't simply turn on the button, import more. It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, whenever there is an agreement or a forced change in trade patterns, then there will be winners and losers. You cannot avoid that. To that extent, you can also think that, beyond the knee-jerk, on the longer term, there will be adjustments in how every country would react to this agreement. Just by way of example, maybe, the US can import more from Taiwan, for example, in the event that they import less from China, then there will be a few countries that could eventually benefit from it. But I think the core immediate reaction would need to be focused purely on value add that are sent to the US from China. Which countries will be affected most in the event that there is a forced slowdown of export from China to the US. Tariffs would be one clear trigger for that. So we maintain our view that there is always the risk of tariff. I think there is no clear targets and no clear perimeter through which you measure the success of this current agreement, and therefore the risk remains.